What's up, everybody? It's your main man Bennett back here again, and welcome to the Not Your Mama's Fantasy Football League Volume 3, the Revenge Year. That's right. Going into the Week 3 Power Rankings, baby. Let's go, boys! Ha! Okay, well, welcome back to another week. You probably won or you probably lost, one or the other. There were no ties. There were only victors and losers. Finders, keepers, losers, the weepers. A lot of notes from this past weekend. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. I have a full-on injury list that I kind of put together. It's in the description of the video below. My count was like 107 plus injured players from the past week across the league. Obviously, it probably impacts some of y'all's fantasies as rosters. So maybe want to check that out down below, but you probably already know. Check out the ESPN app. Get up to date with your injuries. Commissioner Ben salutes you. Do the right thing. What else happened? Seahawks won, baby! Yeah! Yeah! Okay. All right. Okay. Seahawks won. I told you, so far they're 2-0 on the route to 16-0. We'll find out. What else happened? I called the Vikings to upset the Chiefs. Didn't happen. The Vikings look like trash. And I also called for all 4 NFC West teams to win. And they did. So, there's that. But at what cost? A lot of injuries to everybody, for the most part. Some teams came out healthier than others. But the Niners, boy. I mean, you can check out the injury report, but they were already down Richard Sherman. And now Solomon Thomas and Nick Bosa both are probably done for the year. Raheem Mostert, who's a star for that team for sure. He's got an issue that'll probably take a while to get back from. Jason Verrett, Tevin Coleman, and Jimmy Garoppolo all are questionable designation moving forward. And those are all starters. So Niners are in trouble. As a Seahawks fan, bittersweet. Kind of like the rivalry to be two powerhouse teams. But you know what? I digress. Who gives a rip? Let's get into the rankings. Starting with number 10. Last place is the worst place. Starting and descending from 10 to the 1. From the worstest to the bestest. Let's get it. Okay, number 10. We have Team Robs. They are 0-2. Down 2 spots. They were in 8th place. Now they're in the last place in that venerable last place position. This goes to my brother from the same mother, Team Robs. He just got a dog. Evan just got a dog. Let's give a round of applause to Evan's dog. It's a new dog. He told me that as soon as he got the dog shit all over him. So we got a dog now. What are we supposed to do with that? I don't know. What else happened? You know what? He lost by 1 point. So this last place, it was literally he's there because he lost by 1 point. If he won by 1 point, he wouldn't be in last place. Simple, right? So we're only 2 weeks in. He still has Tyler Lockett, Dalvin Cook, Darren Waller, and Tom Brady is going to improve as the year progresses. So hopefully Evan can look to bounce back, punching up to Master Cook this week. That's a tough challenge. Master Cook's on a roll. More on him later. Let's move along to the 9th place team. The 9th, coming in nice and 9 is the friggin' MOTHERFRENCHERS. That's right, down 3 spots. They were at whatever they were at. Now they're not. They're down at number 9 now. Basically, the bottom of the barrel. They're 0-2. Why aren't they last? Because they did better than Team Robs. But those are at the bottom 2. You're 0-2. You're at the bottom. Bottom of the pile, as I say. Tanner's venerable friggin' MOTHERFRENCHERS. And, I took some notes on the performance on his team. But I think I should just have Tanner recite for you, speak for himself, rather. Quote, that's 2 weeks in a row that I played against the guy who got the most points in the league. Would have won if I played most other teams this week and last week. Put some respect on my name.
Some respect.
Best 0-2 fantasy team of all time. Well, so, you'll have to try again next week. You got Josh Allen. You got, Simply Tanner. The friggin' MOTHERFRENCHERS. They got good pieces. looking on the barrel of the gun this week, and we'll see. Only time will tell. Got to just start stacking up the W's in order to move up in the ranks. You lose, you go down. You win, you go up most of the time. Coming in next, we got the next guy. Let's go to number 8, baby. Hi. Number 8 is going to Mr. The Kiss. That's right, Lil Russ X. He going up 2 spots. He was in last place. Him and my bro went a little flippy floppy. So he got the first win of the year by a 1-point margin. Going to slide him in right at number 8. There's a lot of 1-1 teams. So this was the auto draft scare of the century. Whitney auto drafted his first 2 picks. They ended up being Miles Sanders and Kenyon Drake. And kind of we all collectively hold our breath. But that being said, Whitney won this week by 1 point. Who was his highest producing player on his team? You guessed it. Miles frickin' Sanders. I just spit a little. Just spit. Just saying that. I'm so excited. He still has Drew Brees and Deshaun Watson, 2 quarterbacks that you could slide in that are going to put up more than 16 points on average. They've just been having kind of a rough start to the year. They will continue to elevate. Michael Thomas hasn't been playing. Deshaun's still figuring out this offense and all that. So, Whitney takes on Team SOUZA in week 3. And that's going to be about as exciting as watching a confused cockroach try and make its way down a hallway. So, let's do it. Coming in, we have the next place team, number 7. The 7th place team going to Team SOUZA. That's right, baby. Team SOUZA is 1-1. They're down some spots. They were a little higher. They went down. Corey's squad did not get the win. So, they go down to the 7th place. Do I think that Corey's worried? I know I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Corey's team. They went up against the tight end Emporium. And I think we're slowly but surely realizing the value of that statement. The Cook's tight end Emporium is more on that team later for sure. You don't want to mess with them. They score a lot of points, and they, I think that they would have crushed almost anybody. Michael's team would have crushed almost anybody. So Corey still has Derrick Henry, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Julian Edelman. Put him at flex and get 21 points against the Seattle defense. I like what Julian Edelman's looking to do this year. If he can keep that up, I mean, holy hell. So we have a chance here. Team SOUZA's going up against Lil Russ X. We just talked about him. The 8th and 7th place teams going back and forth here. And one of them's going to win. One of them's going to lose. We'll have to tune in to find out. Next, the 6th place team. The 6th place team is Bennett's house. Bennett's house is the 6th place team. They lost this week. They lost to we, Commissioner Ben. Son of a bitch! We lost to Cream Dudes. What can I say? I used the 3rd overall pick on Michael Thomas. He didn't play. High ankle sprain. That's a problem. I don't really have a tight end to speak of. Austin Hooper's joke, and Will Dissly has only caught the ball once in the last year. So, gonna need to figure it out. That being said, I was bopped out by the Cream Dudes, who threw down almost 150 points. So, they would have beat just about everybody. In fact, they would have beat anybody except for the BONGTOWN Herbologists this week. So I do take some solace in that, based on the fact that most teams lost players to injuries, including myself. I lost Mostert. So I was 1, now I'm 6. Is that fair? I don't know. Was that an overreaction? Probably. Should I still be number 1? I think so. But you know what? All's fair in love and fantasy. So here we go. Next week, or this week rather, I'm coming for you, tight end Emporium. If I knock you off, I'm right back on the top, baby. So we move on. Number 5, the 5th place team in this week's power rankings is the Cream Dudes. That's right, managed by Adam the King. Up 4 whole spots. Big transition. The Dudes of Cream. Wow. Turns out Joe Burrow might be the real deal. I mean, granted, a lot of those points he scored this week were garbage points, garbage time. Does it matter? No. That's why Matt Ryan's always been so great. They're down 3 touchdowns, and the other team just keeps letting them throw, keeps letting them score these TDs. So Joe Burrow might be that guy. And when you have someone like a Kareem Hunt on your bench, putting up a deuce, a 22-point banger, you know, I just think that there's a lot going on with the Cream Dudes that he should be excited about. Calvin Ridley. Let me count the ways, man. Calvin Ridley is this year's Chris Godwin from last year. I'll just say that. I think that Calvin Ridley is, I would rather have him than Julio right now. Just like I think a lot of people would rather have Chris Godwin than Mike Evans right now. I think the conversation is not a 1 and 2. It's really like a 1A, 1B in any given week, you know. So cheers to Adam. Cheers. 5th place. Moving on, we got the top 4, baby. Whoa. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. We're coming in at number 4 with the BONGTOWN Herbologists at number 4, up 3 whole slots. And that's right, aka the Brown Bear, the manager of the Herbologists from the BONGTOWN, smoking all the trees and laying waste to their people. So he came through with the most points. The most points this week. A big round of applause for the BONGTOWN gang. He scored 149 points, I believe. He would have beat anybody. So you get to move on up. Like Jefferson's moving on up to the east side to the deluxe apartment in the sky. That's you. So it did get me thinking when I was kind of looking at the notes, looking at the details of the win. How am I measuring these rankings now and past, present, moving forward? So just to clarify, first is wins. Wins are important. Second is points, whether it's points that week or points overall points, like as the year progresses, there's kind of an amalgam there. If you score a ton of points in that week, I do have kind of that, that bias of the moment, where it's like, wow, that just happened. So those are big factors. The third factor, and it's actually because our league is so deep with talent, I feel all 10 teams have really good players. It's based on the players, but that's kind of a wash because who knows? I mean, you might have Michael Thomas, but you might get a high ankle sprain, and then what good is Michael Thomas on your team? That being said, the reason why I wouldn't slide Andrew's team a little bit higher is because his team was the most impacted by injuries this week. Bang, bang, boom, boom, boom. Okay? I wish you luck as you take on the 3rd place team this week, which is the 3rd place team. Oh my God. It's AB Unworn Helmet? What? Up 2 spots. They were in 5th, now they're in 3rd, and that's right, baby. Samuel, Craig, the Parker. Hey, same logic that I just got done explaining doesn't make any sense with this position here. He scored the 5th most points. Samuel didn't even win this week. Yeah, he didn't win. So also he has Saquon Barkley. Saquon's done for the year, and he used the 2nd overall pick to get him. I've already been. He's here. It's done. It's already written. It's done. It's written. Siri's trying to help me. I don't need your help. So God help us all. I don't know. I think the real reason why I'm comfortable with putting Samuel's team this high might seem a little strange, is because actually, if we're not going off wins and we're not going off points and we're not going off, the entire roster of players, there might be a 4th metric, a 4th measurable, a 4th elemental property that is worth looking into. And that 4th property is called Russell effing Wilson. Russell Wilson, baby. MVP of the league. Past, present, and future MVP of the league, Russell Wilson. Just got done with his, scoring 9 touchdowns over 2 weeks. The guy has 80 points over 2 games. 80. Okay? Now, is he going to do that every week? No. Is he going to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns every week? Probably not. But let me tell you something you might not know about fantasy football. Every week, crucial, right? But there are 3 weeks that are more important than all the other ones, and that's the fantasy football playoffs, weeks 13, 14, 15. Have you looked to see what's going on with your teams, your best players, weeks 13, 14, 15? I know I have. I did after I drafted. But if you look at Russell, who is Russell Wilson going up against weeks 13, 14, 15? Well, I won't bore you any longer. It's the Giants, the Jets, and the nameless Washington franchise. That's who Samuel is going to have his quarterback, MVP Russell Dussel, Magic Man Wilson, go up against during the fantasy football playoffs. I know it's only week 2 into week 3. That's concerning. That is concerning data. We should all hope that Samuel doesn't make it, that the rest of his team falls off a cliff, because if he makes it in the playoffs, that is, it's trouble. That is trouble with a capital T. So we move on. God help us all. Coming in at number 2, baby, the second place team. You know him. You probably like him. You've seen him here before. That's right. It's Master Cook Allen. You're at number 2. You're getting familiar with this place. This is like your summer home. The second place team in this league, it's your home away from home. It's where you live. It's where you have wood on the fire. Top 2, baby. The Cook family is the top 2 position, so their seed must be strong. They both scored north of 125 points this week. Both have great fantasy quarterbacks, solid first-tier running backs, good wide receivers, balance across the board. Allen's team will stay number 2 as long as that makes sense to me. So, there you go. His team is going up against Team Rob's this week. So you have Lamar Jackson taking on the Chiefs. The chefs are cooking with real butter, and you're going to have to score mucho puntos in order to get the victory, I think. So we shall see if Allen can keep this 2-game streak alive. And that brings us to number 1. Number 1, the number 1 team. Very happy to report it's Cook's tight end Emporium. And new number 1. That's right, it's been me. Right or wrong, however you feel about that, it's been me for what? Just 2 weeks, didn't last that long. We have Michael Cook as the number 1 slot, tight end Emporium. You got Dak doing his thing. You got Alvin Kamara doing his thing. Even Todd Gurley, Devontae Adams, Jarvis Landry, they can combine for 16 points. Does that matter? No, because they still got the win. And that's the most important metric that exists here, is winning. So Michael is 2-0. It's looking like George Kittle's going to be okay. He will be back week 3. Sprained MCL and a bone bruise. Might be a little problematic, but considering that now they need reliability in San Francisco, Kittle's return is imperative. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't play Kittle. So, he drafted 2 top-tier tight ends. Did he know this was going to happen? I don't know. Could that clairvoyant mind power have been activated? And we should all be very scared for our future in the league. I can't speak to that. But Mr. Cook, you are number 1, and Mr. Cook, you're number 2. Mr. Cook number 1, Mr. Cook number 2. So let's hear it. Great week, gang. That's all I got. Make sure you like it, you comment, you subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with the people, and tune in next week for another Power Rankings. Hopefully you go up, right? Hopefully you go up. I don't know wherever you're at. Hopefully you go up, and someone else goes down. Till next time. What else? Is there anything to say? Anything else at all? I guess it's Commissioner Ben signing off. And go Hawks.